This is actually a very interesting topic. Spookston, this is a Spookston video. Very interesting topic. The Warfender's toxicity problem. We all know, we all played Warfender, we know fucking people go crazy, people team kill. Every time you play Youre, someone's saying the N-word. Let's see what Spookston has to say about it.
I know this is sort of an odd topic,
but First off, is this pictorial music? Is this pictorial music?
I know this is sort of an odd topic, but
Or Subnautica, what is that?
I've been thinking about it a lot recently,
Subnautica, right?
and I wanted to talk about it. To preface this video, I'm not trying to make some grand point or anything, merely offering my opinion on the state of things. I don't expect any great change or whatever, but I at least hope we can get some kind of dialogue going.
Yeah, there's no way any one person can make a change. Because, it's so cooked. It is so cooked. The toxicity in War Thunder is just off the charts.
But anyway,
as someone who's played League, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, CSGO, War Thunder is probably the most of the game I ever played. War Thunder is the only game where, like, I touched someone in spawn by accident, and now they spent the last 10 minutes crashing into me. Because they're so spiteful, angry. They're so like fucking. They're so messed up, you know. It's just so much hate. There's so much hate in the War Thunder community.
Let's get started. I've already talked about it a bit in the past, but I find that one thing in CSGO, in League of Legends, in Overwatch, people will flame, people will complain, but they'll keep playing, they'll keep trying. They'll keep trying, keep playing. In War Thunder, that doesn't happen. In War Thunder, they will actively try to sabotage you and their own team. That's like the main difference for me, I think. War Thunder's community is much more toxic than average. I get that War Thunder is a modern multiplayer game, and everyone will say it's par for the course. Or they'll say something about Modern Warfare 2 lobbies being far worse. I have to wholeheartedly disagree. As far as being aggressive,
I'm not gonna lie. Dude, people keep saying that Modern Warfare 2 lobbies being bad. I just don't think that's true. Like, thinking back to, like, I didn't play Modern Warfare 2. But I did play Call of Duty on the Xbox 360. And the lobbies were usually just quiet because no one had fucking headsets. No one used headsets, no microphones, no screaming, no yelling. There's like boosters and cheaters. But most people just played the game by themselves. Not saying anything. No messages, no nothing.
The communities for other games I played never stood out to me. Probably the worst was Chivalry, and I'm sure veterans of that game can agree. But even Chivalry wasn't that bad compared to War Thunder. Sure, if you beat someone in a duel, they might say something derogatory about your mother, but you're more likely to make friends with an enemy, especially if they're playing E1M1 on a loop, and before that gets taken out of context. And no, I'm not saying you should make friends with enemy tanks. Chivalry is much more casual. In War Thunder, you'll probably just upset your teammates. Not only is the average person more toxic in War Thunder, but the more extreme cases are especially egregious. Players telling others they should end their own life, hating people for the nation they play, threatening the developers, serialized team killing, and much more, all on an alarmingly regular basis. So why is the community like this?
Yeah, it's crazy. The lengths people will go to in War Thunder. Like, you will literally be put on a list. You will literally be put on like an Excel spreadsheet, and you will be team killed on site. For like, forever. Like, I know of squadrons that have Excel spreadsheets where they have names of people they're gonna team kill. And like, if they see you in game, they're team killing you, regardless. That's way beyond the yelling in a fucking voice lobby. Right? That's insane. That's unhinged. That's unhinged. It's insane.
I believe there are a few root causes. In my personal experience, military-oriented communities tend to be more aggressive and spiteful overall. I do think nationalism plays the largest part in that, but I don't think it's the sole reason. There seems to be this sort of elitism, where if you get something regarded as common knowledge incorrect, you'll get torn to shreds over it. This extends to opinions as well. Instead of just calmly explaining why they disagree, people act like the offender is a more—
This isn't any top— This, what I said was not about any top competitive squadron, by the way. It's, I won't even say the name, it doesn't matter. They're irrelevant. I don't even think they play competitively. I don't think they play competitively. They're none of the big ones, that's for sure.
On. Circling back to nationalism, it certainly is a major player. People grow up hearing that certain tanks, usually the ones their nation uses,
it's crazy. The nationalism thing is crazy. I saw a post the other day that was like, I see Israeli tank, I team kill. Like, what the fuck? Are you okay?
The best in the world. When they start playing the game, they carry those expectations with them, and largely stick to playing in that nation. There are definitely some exceptions to that rule though. As far as German mains are concerned, I bet the majority are Americans, not Germans. Regardless, people go off and form their own camps, becoming hostile to other groups. The War Thunder subreddit's a good example. I know it's a bad platform, but that's besides the point. It seems like half the content on that sub comes from US mains fighting with German mains. It's just an endless back and forth of Youre Bad. No, you're bad. I hate seeing it not only because it's childish.
That's true. Wait, every time you open the subreddit, it's always a post being like, you know, why is Germany players so dog shit? And you scroll down, why is America players so dog shit? And you scroll down, why is Russia players so dog shit? And you scroll down, why is Britain players so dog shit? It's like if every nation is like dog shit, I guess.
Grading, but because I know I've contributed towards it. So let me clear something up real quick. On average, German tank players typically are worse at low to mid tiers. They start to become average in the post-war era. That's not me just making a guess or trying to poke fun. When we complained about the M48A2 going to 6.7, that is the exact reason we got from Gaja. But to be perfectly clear, this problem is not exclusive to Germany. The exact same thing happens with American Air. At low to mid tier, American aircraft are very under-tiered, just as German tanks are. In the Tiger problem video, I blamed it on the Tiger's reputation, which...
Dude, when he talks about low to mid tier for planes, he's talking about like the fucking prop era. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck about props.
It partially is, but it's not the main cause. New tank players typically choose a German tech tree first. I'm sure this happens in other tech trees, but it's not as notable. It's to the point where if someone sees you made a nation, they'll use it as an excuse to disregard your opinion. Like, oh, you prefer playing this nation? You must have a bias then. If you...
Wait, where's Pernivus? Because I do these to Pernivus all the time. But it's true! If you only have experience in one nation, your experience and your views and your opinions are going to be very colored. If you only played one nation ever, you're going to have a very biased view. Like, that's just how it is. Like, if you only experience one side, of course, you will be very biased. That's just how human nature is.
If you disagree with somebody, just explain why. You don't need to smite them with a logical fallacy. If they are actually biased, then just move on. You're not going to convince them, so it's just a waste of time. And of course, how Gaja manages the gameplay.
He's right. He's right. I should just not engage. When Pernivus talks about Russia being overpowered, or the Tiger having to go down in BR, or the Leopard 2 Ace 4 being nerfed, I should just ignore him. But I can't. He's baiting me. He's rage baiting me. He's got me.
A huge part in it. They make the game frustrating on purpose. Everyone already knows that by now. They do enable people to play in annoying ways, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out on somebody. Don't send death threats to the player or the developer.
See, that's the thing was, right? You say this, but if you open the actual statistics, right? The actual statistics of win rate of nations, it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Like, we all joke, right? We're like, or we say, like, oh, fucking Germany on my team. Here we go. I'm gonna lose. But, like, in reality, the German teams don't lose that much more than other teams. Like, it's not that skewed.
Don't send death threats to anybody, even if you are joking.
Yeah, that Telsko? So, that's for you, Telsko. I'm gonna rewind and hear one more time. Telsko, listen up.
Don't send death threats to the player or the developers. Don't send death threats to anybody, even if you are joking. Just leave polite and well thought out feedback wherever you can. Look, I know people are going to get upset, and say I'm acting all high and mighty. I've certainly been toxic before. I think everyone has at some point, but I'm just worn out. I'm at a point of apathy with the game itself, but the constant infighting within the community is tiring. Anyway, I hope at least some of you agree and enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on the next one.
I think the main reason, and I do it myself. I do it myself all the time. The thing is, you see it like super black and white in League. I I think it's also true for War Thunder. Here's the thing. Human beings are like biologically engineered to never take blame. So the easiest thing for your brain and your consciousness to cope with when you lose is to blame someone. That's just human nature. We all want to blame someone when we die. It wasn't my fault. I didn't want to take it on my cape. It's human nature to want to push it to someone else. Like, it's someone else's fault. I didn't fuck up. My German teammates made me lose. I didn't fuck up. Gaijin just has bias against my nation. I didn't fuck up. Etc, 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 etc. And that is a definite part of why people are so quick to blame Russia, blame Germany, blame America. There is some truth to it, of course. But yeah, it's just, and you see it a lot in America. You see it so clearly in League. If you haven't played League, you wouldn't know this. But it's so obvious. Someone will lose. Someone will lose in top lane, mid lane, jungle, anywhere. And they'll blame the team instantly. If you want what's it called? Like not the medical, like the psychological term, it's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Which basically means, it basically just means your experience of the world is different than reality. Not like schizophrenia, but like you lost a fair 1 versus 1, but in your mind it was your team's fault. But of course it was your fault. Or you missed your shot and you blamed the game. Or you died and the game's fault or the matchmaker or whatever, you know? Not like actual insanity, but anyways, when I say I died to the game, it's true. But when you say you died to the game, it's you being crazy. That's all I'm saying. When I die, it's the game's fault, okay? But when you guys die, it's because of your own fault. Sorry. I had to make the rules.
The game is broken, EA
I had
Sports!
to make the rules. Sorry, guys.